Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle Earth here, looking at a team that I think could be a surprising best option for Chapter 1 of the Mines of Moria raid. I'd love to hear your opinions down in the comments below. This is by no means a call to level this team up. I think they're very hit or miss, or opinions are very split on them. So let me know down below to start a conversation and figure out how these guys are actually doing. I do think looking at them on paper, they seem like they are intended to be one of the better teams for the raid. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about them in just 1 second. All right, the team we're going to talk about is going to be the Road to Rivendell team. We're talking Strider and the Four Hobbits. Now, this team, in my experience, has not performed super well in Arena, at least at the gear levels that I've seen them at. Whenever I've seen them or others have seen them, usually people talk about punching up and taking them out pretty easily. But there are still those that swear by this team that talk about how, theirs is working, or maybe there's a certain level, maybe it's even like at 8 or above 8 where it really starts to come together. I don't know. So Arena, I don't think this team is turning major heads or competing with the elves super well. But the mechanic with the Moria Bomber, where you want to attack him as many times as possible while he's priming his stacks, makes characters that assist very essential for that raid. So you can consistently have the best chances. There's always going to be RNG, and yes, your best run could just come because you got lucky and he threw it at 1 or 2 stacks. But being able to consistently get more is going to give you more chances to do well, at least without spending a ridiculous amount of time. So I want to talk through each of the characters because they all have something they bring to the table. And let me know down below if you're using a high gear. I'm talking like gear all like 7 and 8 maybe for this team. I want to know how they're doing, because I know, like, for example, the legendary Elrond team, a full 8 Elrond team is maxing out about the 3rd difficulty. That's kind of what I've seen people doing. So I'm curious if a full 8 gear team of the Road to Rivendell is doing the same thing, worse. Maybe there's even, I don't know. I want to preface this whole thing by saying, don't just go out and level these guys up. I want to do some testing first and have some conversations, but I want to talk through their kits because I think they do have some of the best potential. Now, it's also worth noting, I think for raids in general, the call to assist mechanic is huge, but cleanses, heals, AoEs, those are all the things we're going to look at that this team has a lot of that makes him very good. The first thing on Frodo we're going to look at, really the only thing we're going to look at on Frodo, is the fact that on his basic ability, attack target enemy for 100% damage, and then at level 6, so it is the max level, so bear in mind you would need a very leveled and invested in team for this mechanic to work all the time. He has a guaranteed call to assist on his basic. So other characters that have call to assist, it's great, but you're not going to get it every single time that you're priming those bombs because it's just, there's cooldowns on abilities. Not for Frodo, it's his basic, the Darting Dagger. A level 6 on this, to me, seems pretty freaking good. The fact that every time he uses his basic, he's going to get 2 stacks instead of 1. It speaks for itself. So that's Frodo. That's what he brings to the team, but he does just a fine job with that. So that's the first character. Second one up is Pippin. Now, Pippin, we're going to look at a few things. I think he's an all-around, just really good character, to be honest. So Pippin on his basic has a chance to dispel boons, and at the max level, it's a guaranteed chance. So not as good as a call to assist in this raid, but boon dispel is very good. For example, there is a goblin who taunts, which can very much mess up when you're trying to attack the Moria Bomber. So having a character who has a boon dispel, a guaranteed boon dispel on his basic, is pretty nice. So boon dispel on the base for Pippin, that's the first thing we're going to look at. Next up is his healing. Now, the healing is just good for anybody to keep you guys topped up over time. You need some sort of sustainability. The Elrond team has pretty good heals, as well as the revive, which I think makes them competitive just because they're a very good team. So I think every team needs some kind of sustainability. So here we have Old Maggot's Mushroom. We have a heal all squad members at 3. And at 4, we have a cleanse 1 bane from all squad members before healing. So a cleanse with a heal. I don't think the cleanse are as crucial, but there are lots of banes going out. So it's just going to help you stay a little bit cleaner and hopefully go further in the raid. So a heal with the cleanse is the second thing on Pippin. Now, this one is probably not as impactful as the first 2, but it's still in that vein of staying healthy with the team. So at level 4, if Mary is an ally, you're going to grant regeneration to all squad members, and you're also at the max level going to grant might to the entire team, which I do think is very good in general. Now, in this raid, to me, it's not as much about doing heavy damage, so I don't think that helps you as much, but there are going to be times that does come in handy. So I think it's a very good skill, but overall, we're looking at the regeneration. Again, you need to stay alive so that you can continue to prime bombs as much as possible and get the RNG you need. So the more regeneration, the more heals, that kind of stuff, I do think it helps. Next up is going to be Mary. Mary is like, I just hope one day he comes out as just this really sleeper, just good character who can be plugged into any lineup. I think he's so interesting. So first of all, for Mary, he has on his basic ability at the max level, same as Frodo, a call to assist. So you have 2 characters in the squad who can technically call to assist every single turn. They're always going to have their basic ability available. So if you go Frodo and then Mary, that's 4 stacks on that goblet, as opposed to where you'd have 2 with anybody else. So a call to assist in the basic, that does very good already. The next one is a boon dispel, a mark, and a call to assist. So it literally has like everything we're looking at here. So right here, dispel 1 boon, 2 boon, 3 boon. So 3 boon dispel. If you want to get around taunts, or if they have just any, I mean, again, if they have boons, it's not good for you, but especially the taunts you want to work around, this can be helpful. Although I wouldn't go around inflicting mark on everyone. So this is where you're really going to save this probably for the Moria Bomber. So then you can inflict mark. So even if they have taunts out there, whatever else is going on, if you mark him, you're going to attack him every single time. So that kind of, not only with the boon dispel, but also the mark allows you to just keep attacking him. Then at level 4, we have a always call and assist. So it's going to call someone to assist. And at level 6, it's going to call an extra random Hobbit ally to assist. So if you're playing with this team, obviously, you're going to get 2 Hobbits assisting, which again means it's going to be, it's kind of tough to tell how many this would log as. So if you guys know for sure, because there are abilities like Morza, for example. Morza's ability, which says dispel 1 boon from the target enemy and inflict disrupted for 1 turn, and then it says call Isengard ally to assist. When Morza uses the ability, that gives a stack, and then when he calls to assist, that gives a stack, even though he's not actually attacking. But I think it's because it's inflicting something out. So I'm not 100% sure, but let me know if you know, if you use an ability on Mary, if you happen to have that maxed out, if that gives you 3 stacks or 2, but either way, it's still a fantastic thing. So again, I'm not 100% sure, but I would guess inflicting a mark counts as like a sort of attack. You're putting something negative out, just like Morza. So I'm pretty sure that Kenai is going to give you 3 stacks when it's maxed out. So again, if you have Frodo go and that gives you 2, and then Mary on this special is going to give you 3. He starts at a base of 1 with 2 characters. That is 6, like off the gate. That's pretty nice. There's not a crazy cooldown. It's a cooldown of 4, so it's not going to be used every single time. But hey, if it's on cooldown, you can use his basic and get a call to assist there. So Mary just seems like he is like really built for this. Now, last but not least, we have a grant haste to the entire scout. So haste is going to increase their speed, meaning you're going to go more often, which means you can get more hits down, which is very, very good. That by itself would be enough. And we have just different levels of granting stamina to squad members. We have additional haste duration, so 2 turns of haste actually, but you're going to grant stamina to several allies on the team. So stamina are the, the little orange abilities over here. You get stamina, it's going to kind of, reduce the cooldown by 1. So it could just mean that someone is going to get their better abilities going sooner. Definitely just helps the team out. So haste for 2 turns and some serious call to assist stuff. Mary, I think, yeah, I've covered it in detail, but I think Mary is a sleeper for sure. And next up is Strider. Now Strider is just all around a pretty good character in my opinion. Everyone should start having, 4, 5, 6, or even 7-star Striders pretty soon here, just because of their daily logins they're doing. I've been a little bit slow at it, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just now at 5, that's on me. But overall, he's just a well-rounded character, and the ability he has that really helps out is the AoE. So if you're very geared Strider, he's going to AoE, still attack your middle goblin or your bomber, wherever he's at, but lower the health of everyone else, which is very helpful so the bomb actually takes them out. So AoEs are very important. Otherwise, I mean, everything else is, he's adding some stuff to the kit. He's getting, they're getting extra damage and armor through his leadership ability, which isn't crazy, but really the AoE and him just being a solid character that a lot of people have. There's not a lot to say. It's Strider. He's solid. And last but not least, Sam. Again, I'd be curious to see at high gear what Sam would actually do, because again, I've not used him personally. But what I do think he brings to the raid here is the inflict blind. So there are some characters that have some very annoying AoEs. So being able to blind those characters and keep everyone a little bit healthier is pretty good. This thing has a very short cooldown of 3 turns. You can't use it on the first turn, but it can't be blocked, can't be dodged, and you can inflict blind. I don't know how that mechanic worked for the bomber, because I don't think you could blind the bomber, or you would really want to, but I guess I don't know about that. But I don't think that, I just think that wouldn't really affect him. But either way, the blind, using that on those who have big AoEs who are going to cause problems for you, it's just going to help the team out. And that's going to do it for our rundown of the Road to Rivendell team. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up designing the Road to Rivendell, like kind of the first starting team, to be the best in chapter 1 of the raids. They're not amazing in arena, but maybe this is where they'll shine. So I'd be curious. Let me know down below if you're using one or if you've seen one. I'd love to have a conversation about how they end up playing out. Again, to me, Pippin and Mary are definitely the MVPs. The other ones complement. Frodo is solid with the basic, with the call to assist. They all work together for sure. And I do think a fully geared team would be kind of scary, but I do think Pippin and Mary are the MVPs. So the question is, should you be running a full Road to Rivendell team for chapter 1, or should you be running Mary and Pippin plugged in with another trio that's very solid, potentially like the Rohan trio, who a lot of people are going to have as well, adding in several calls to assist and just sustainability and all that kind of stuff? be curious to see how both those options works out. And hopefully we can try them all one day. But right now we got to kind of talk and share different ideas because not everyone has every team leveled up. So again, that'll do it for me in this one. Let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, I'll see you in a future video.